It's The Broker Show. We're talking real estate, investing, local market trends, feel-good stories, mindsets, and strategies for success. Let us know what you want to talk about, and chances are we will. Hosted by The Broker Joe and co-hosted by Etch.
Welcome to The Broker Show. We are so glad you're here. It's been a great week. Etch, it's good to be back with my good buddy Etch. And Etch, how are you?
Doing good.
Are you ready for what is about to happen today?
I am actually really excited about this.
Etch is way too excited about this.
I love talking about myself.
Okay, that is what we're going to do today, guys. We are going to lower your expectations, first of all. Welcome to episode 14, the Mediocre episode with Joe and Etch. Yeah. And this is what we're going to do. Today, Etch and I have a random generator that is going to generate a random question of Etch and I. We will both have our shot at answering it. This is just as authentic as it gets. We're just gonna. I have no idea what's gonna pop up here, Etch. So we'll try to keep it clean and.
What I like about this is that we talk so much about business. We talk so much about things that are real estate related,
yes.
Life related, that kind of stuff. But whenever I'm listening to a podcast, whenever I'm, wanting to see what's happening in somebody's life, I want to get to know them. So this whole idea is simply for you to get to know us a little bit better.
Not sure this is a good idea, but
see how demented we really are. And, because there's always the sheet that you pull back and it's like, oh, wow, that was the great and powerful Oz.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that guy?
There's a Def Leppard poster behind this
fat.
one. Yep. No, I'm just joking.
Cool.
All right.
Can I be the one-armed drummer? That'd be cool.
Yes. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready, man.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll the dice. Let's go.
Here we go. Ooh, what's it going to land on?
Here it comes. And, okay.
What you got
Here's
for
the
us?
question. What is the strangest thing you've ever fallen in love with? Strangest thing you've ever fallen in love with.
Taco is easy.
Oh, but is that strange though, Etch?
I mean,
man,
maybe.
The strangest thing.
You go ahead. I gotta plug in the computer real quick.
Okay, go for it.
So you go ahead and do your thing.
Yep.
So if you see me like scrunching around behind Joe, again, we're pulling the whole curtain back.
We're trying not to die on you here. Okay. Strangest thing I've ever fallen in love with. I have really liked some very weird things, and my tendency is to go back to a kid because you can be like, when I was a kid, I did this dumb thing, But, man, the strangest thing. What's that?
Do you mind if I use your cable?
Oh, take it, man. Absolutely. Okay. I was in Honduras when I was in my teens for about 2 weeks on a mission on a mission trip. We were building an orphanage, and there is this stick that I used. It was like a long piece of strapping.
Yep.
And there were 2 screws screwed into the top of it, like this right here at right angles.
Okay.
And I used it to hold up the strapping on the ceiling. Like I would catch the strapping and hold it up there, right? And after the 2 weeks, I cut the top of it off and took it home.
Mm-hmm.
This was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I still have it. And my wife has... Okay. Most of the time when my wife tries to get rid of something, I don't realize it till after it's gone, okay? But with this thing, I have caught her in the act every single time.
Trying to toss it on you.
Yeah, trying to toss it on me. And acting like she doesn't remember what it's from, right? And I'm like, and I love this thing. Yep. I have defended this little piece of wood with 2 screws in it. I defended it so many times from the fire, from the trash. I love it. And it is weird. It's a weird little thing that sits there. But I do love it. It means a lot to me. Yeah.
Fair enough. I got it.
Weirdo.
Mine is really weird, but I mean, it's a sentimental thing to me.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter, lives in Florida.
Yeah.
With her mom. I go to see her as often as possible. She comes up here as often as possible. But when she was really young, by the way, she's has autism.
Yeah.
So flying for her when she was younger was a little tough. So I would go down there.
Yeah.
Her mother and I, we respect each other. That's about as far as it goes.
Okay.
So when she was about, I don't know, 7-ish, I went down on the Christmas to visit her. And not that I require anything for Christmas, a gift, anything like that. So I'd never gotten anything from her because her mom would never take her shopping.
Sure.
You know, same goes with me. I can't say that I was like, oh yeah, I'm perfect, because I wouldn't go and bring her shopping for her mom either. I always left that to her parents.
Gotcha.
Well, I picked her up and brought her to the condo, and she says, Daddy, she said, I wasn't able to buy you anything. She says, but I found these and I brought them to you. It was a tiny piece of wood about this big and a little eye hook screw like this that she had found, and then a washer. And she says, but I wanted you to have these. And it still to this day gets me because I get like all teary-eyed about it. But
do you still have it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. It's just like mine. It's a piece of wood and like a screw thing.
But I cherish those 3 items more than anything. It was a rusty little washer, a little golden eye hook thing that you'd screw into the ceiling, and a piece of wood. And that to her, that was like the best treasure that anybody's ever found. And to this day, that is still my one treasure that I fell in love with. That I still have it like in a little area that I'm like, nope. Okay. So I try. So
we got super sappy and nostalgic on you guys. Yep. Let's see. Okay, let's roll the dice on the next one.
Let's go to the next
one.
All right,
here we go.
A funny one. All right, what do we got?
Okay.
What do we got? All right, what do you got?
If your food is bad at a restaurant, would you say something?
All right.
Oh, this is good.
This is bad. All right.
Go.
Okay. So I am the type. I'm the type of person that I've worked in the service industry.
Okay. Yeah.
So I hate saying something to a waitress or a waiter or a cook.
Yeah.
I've been there before. I know that it's like, even though it might be something wrong.
Yeah.
To me, I'm sitting there going, this girl, this guy, they've got 9 other tables that are sitting there complaining about every little thing. The last thing that they want to do, because there's also, if you've ever worked in the service industry, you know, cooks, waitstaff, not friends.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. There's a level of respect, and that's as far as it goes.
I see.
So to bring back food to a cook,
it's bad
because they're already trying to like pump everything out. It's like,
I never thought of that.
I got to do this. 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 So if my steak is undercooked a little bit, I'll still be like, oh no, it's delicious. Thank you so much.
Gotcha.
Now, I will say there was one situation where I went out with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
Where we were at an establishment. It was a chain restaurant, and she ordered the soup. And this is gonna sound a little gross, but there was a short and curly in it.
Oh,
and
okay.
Like, I'm not talking like, it came off your head.
Yeah, sure.
This was obvious what
nasty.
it was.
Yeah.
It was like, bleh.
Yeah.
So that was the one time where I was like, you got to say something. You got to say something.
Yeah.
But it's never me. I'm always like, she's like, well, you say something. I'm like, no, it's your soup.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be that person. So if my now fiance and I are out and something's wrong, I'll be like, oh, this is wrong. And she'll be like, well, say something. I'm like, I'm good. And then she gets annoyed enough with me that she'll be like, hey, come here. This is wrong. And I'm like,
it's easier to talk about someone else's problem. It is. It's easier to defend someone than is. Yep. So let me tell you about me. Very similar.
Yep.
First of all, I love food a lot. I like it all. If it's a little cold, that's fine. If it's reheated, that's fine.
Yep.
I'm not very picky in the first place. Second of all, I just hate getting on people's case about stuff.
Yeah.
I have some close people. If they hear this, they're going to know that it's them. When we go out to eat, like almost every time, they're like, hey, yeah, there was a problem.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this, like, and literally, I want to shrivel up into a little ball and disappear. Like, it bothers me so much. And I have no problem with them doing it. In the concept of them doing it, it just bugs. I can't do it. So the answer for me, very simple, no. If the food's bad, unless it's really bad, there's been once or twice in my life that I've been like, hey, like, I ordered like a burger and you gave me like a lobster So like, I mean, I'm cool.
Right.
I'm cool if you're cool. Like, are you cool?
Yeah.
Are we cool? Like, am I going to get charged for lobster, or are we like that's my approach, right?
Have you ever seen Anger Management?
Oh yeah.
With Ben Stiller.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
I'm his character.
Okay.
No, not Ben Stiller. Adam Sandler.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm Adam Sandler's character in that.
I knew what you meant.
Where he's like, oh no, it's fine. Like I'm that guy before he goes to the no, it's wrong. That kind of thing. But can I just also put this out there? This will show you again, pulling the curtain back.
Yep.
If you're ever out in a restaurant and something is wrong and you're the complainer, you may think in your head, oh, this is wrong, that's wrong, and you're the patron. Automatically, what's your first thought about when the bill comes? If you're sitting there saying this was wrong, that's wrong, this wrong, is that wrong? I had to have them bring this back. Exactly.
Absolutely.
On the other side of things, when you're the waiter, you're sitting there going, this tip better be humongous.
Better be huge.
Especially if it wasn't your fault. If it was the cook's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see if you were like, oh, hey, I brought you a Sprite. And they were like, I ordered Dr. Pepper.
Don't be that person. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, please don't.
Ash, we ready for the next one?
Next one. Let's roll.
Here we go.
What do you got?
What do we have? What were the highlights of your childhood? Oh, man. Okay, I'll take this one.
Okay.
Highlights of my childhood. I got a lot, man. I'm going to run through them, though.
Yep.
I had my own snowmobile most of the time. I love that thing so much. I drove it everywhere. I mean, I was driving it to town, which was like 30 minutes away, snowmobile ride, when I was like 11, 12. Also, we had, I grew up in a log cabin, no running water, no electricity, way back in the woods of northern Maine.
Abe Lincoln over here.
Yeah, so it was crazy. We grew up really hard, really rough, ate like 3 things ever, that type of, but I didn't know any better. It was amazing to me. And I think most of my childhood was around this pond that we had in the back. I swam in it, I fished in it, I stocked it, I threw rocks in it, skipped stones in it, built forts next to it, built slides into it, walked on it in the winter, drove across it in the winter. That pond and the stream that ran through the pond on our back 40, that was just amazing spot to me. I got to travel when I was a kid, a lot. Actually, when I was about 12, 13, my parents started traveling. They took me with them a lot of places. I think I went to probably 10 or 11 countries before I turned 16, 17.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Highlights. And of course, I think another highlight was just being around a lot of really cool, old-fashioned, hard-working dudes. Just really inspired me. I mean, there is no, like, if something breaks up there, you don't just get in the phone book and call 5 people, right? I mean, you don't have many options. You got to go fix it. So highlights, hanging out with guys like Dean Paisley and guys that are just, even older gentlemen, 60s, 70s, 80s, just hard work and tough as nails guys that have dealt with northern Maine 50 below zero winters for their entire life, right? I mean, these are hard guys, right? So really, really fun. Had some great guys in my life like that. Just a few quick highlights. Yeah.
I would say that there's 2 things, and they're completely separate for me. Like, my main thing and I think this is, if you've grown up in anywhere that there's a countryside, especially a young boy, where there was a countryside and a BB gun handy. Yeah. Like, that was my thing, dude. Yeah. Like, we had gullies in Scottville. We had gullies that were just off the railroad tracks. Well, I grew up around the railroad because my father was an engineer. So I knew the safety, everything. Don't walk on the rails, watch ahead, watch behind. You never know if something's going to sneak up. So I was very privy to not walking on it, but walking off of it, but using the railway system to get to my destination of all of the gullies, all the dump sites that we could go and shoot out old TVs, that kind of stuff. So my neighbor and I, we used to go and, as soon as sun was up, okay, I'm going to go over to Roger's house. Roger and I immediately in the gullies. And my mom could yell so loud that we would be legit like almost a mile away, and I would hear her for dinner. And it was like, sorry, Roger, my mom just called. Put the BB gun on your back, get on your bike, and hightail it home. But I lived in those gullies, man. I lived in them. I mean, I would... you get cut up. You're like, oh well.
Yep.
You know, blood just coming down. You get back in. Your mom's like, what's happened to you? You're like, I don't know.
Nothing.
Was it rusty? Probably.
Yep.
You know, you need a tetanus shot? Don't care. Whatever. I'm gonna go back out after dinner. No, you're not.
Building that immune system up strong.
Right. So there was that. That was a bulk of my childhood, spending it out in the gullies, hanging out with my buddies, building forts, ramps for your bikes.
Oh yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a second that I wasn't outside. So I think anybody who's our age, at least, because we didn't have the video games, we didn't have that type of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, we did, but it was like, here, do you really want to play them? No, I want to go out to the gully.
Yeah,
maybe when I get home, we'll play Mario.
Yeah.
So there was that, but then I guess one of the bigger highlights, my mom brought me to a Del Shannon concert, and this is what really got me into music and doing what I do now.
Oh yeah, let's hear.
Brought me to a Del Shannon concert when I was probably 8-9 years old, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
and it was a local band named Hot Rod Chevy Kevy.
Okay,
Hot Rod Chevy Kevy, and then it was the Letterman, which is an old school trio of three guys that were like from the, I don't know, 60s, 50s, kind of like, you know, that little rock type thing. And then was the Drifters.
Okay.
And then Del Shannon.
Okay.
I fell asleep for Del Shannon.
Okay. You were too stout by then.
He was. I mean, he was also like, he was drunk like crazy on stage. It was a mess.
Yeah.
My memory of this was looking at the drummer for Hot Rod Chevy Kevy, which is a local group or whatever, but he had glasses and he looked so ridiculously cool that immediately I was like, I need to be him. I want to play drums.
Yeah.
I want to, whatever he's doing, I want to do that. So that was a memory, but here was the highlight of the night. And this came as like an accident. The Drifters got up on stage. We were front row, and the lead singer was, he was asking questions about it. How many kids do we have in the audience? And I was so timid, dude. Like, I was so timid that I didn't raise my hand. And he looked down at me and he goes, I don't see you raising your hand. And I was just like, oh no, here we go. You know, all of a sudden it was like, beep. I just got like small as Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you come up on stage. Come up on stage, buddy. And I'm like, no.
You picked the wrong guy.
So, of course, then there's my mom who's like, get up there. And she's like picking me up by the back and then, you know, that kind of thing. And so she pushes me up there and I get up on stage. And the Drifters were like, well, what's your name? And I'm like, Eric. And they're like, a little louder. I'm like, freaking out. So he's like, Eric, do you know the song It's a Small World After All? And I legitimately did not. I had no idea. Because, like I said, my
that's
childhood.
The worst. When you're playing an instrument, someone asks you to play a popular song, and you're like,
I don't know it. Like I said, I'm like, I know Leonard Skinner.
Yep.
Like, I don't watch Disney. I'm sorry. We don't have the Disney Channel back then.
Yeah.
That was a premium.
Nice.
So he's like, all right. So here's what we're going to do. He's like, we're going to sing it with you and teach you. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay. So my highlight of that was I, at like 8 years old, got to sing It's a Small World After All with the Drifters on stage.
And a legend was born.
And I didn't even understand what this meant until I was like 20. My mom's like, do you remember this? I was like, yeah. I was like, wait a minute. That was the Drifters, wasn't it? I was like, that is so super cool. Like, who else has that opportunity? Especially at like 8 years old. Just like
that's
cool
an
memory.
Amazing highlight.
Yeah, just one of the things that just pops in my brain. Of course, you got all the sappy like family vacations that we did and stuff too, which are cool. Sure. But, you know, whatever. Yeah. But for the most part, that's what I would say.
All right. Are we out of time?
No, do one more.
One more. Here we go. This is our final topic. We're going to wrap up. Roll the dice.
We'll keep this one brief. Okay. So hopefully it's fun. All right, what do we got?
Ding, ding. Oh, we're going to click it again. If you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for? Come on.
No.
Let's pick another one.
Money.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that. All right. Let's roll it again. Here we go. Okay. For real. You've been given an elephant. Literally, this just came up.
Okay.
You've been given an elephant. You can't get rid of it. What would you do with it?
All right. Well, I can tell you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Etch.
I can tell you that the answer that my fiance would say is we're keeping it and you don't have a...
Yes, but Etch, what would you do? What would you, Etch, do?
I'd probably teach it tricks.
Okay, that's pretty freaking cool.
I would teach it tricks, but not like your normal, like, look, he's standing up and stuff like that. I would teach him like really cool things, like how to trumpet at certain times, like with stupid questions, or I don't know. Elephants are so cool.
I know exactly what I would do.
They're so awesome. And I don't know, I would probably have it ripping along like a lot of the trees that I don't want in my yard anymore.
Gotcha. Nice. Just wrap his trunk around it, pop him out of the ground.
You're going to be a workhorse now. You know, that's what it would be. But also, I think that it would be my buddy.
So what would I do with this elephant? Can't get rid of it. Mm-hmm. This is what it says. First of all, I couldn't get rid of it anyway because my daughter's favorite thing in the entire universe is an elephant, and I don't know where this came from. Yeah. I don't know where it came from, but she's obsessed with elephants, and so what I would do is I would say, Zoe, okay, fine, we'll keep the elephant, but you got to monetize this thing. Mm-hmm. You got to make a business, right? Yep. We'll set it up in the back. We'll get the kids running through. We'll get an advertising campaign going, and you're going to make money off of this thing. So, I mean, is it crass? Is it? I don't know. I mean, we take good care of the elephant. Clearly, I would obviously want to go for elephant rides on the regular, right? Like going for my take a selfie #routine elephant evening ride. You know, so maybe even take my wife on a date night on an elephant ride, right?
Fun fact.
I would just roll it right into my life, man.
Fun fact. Yeah. Did you know in the city of Orlando, downtown Orlando, the street is called Orange Avenue, and it is illegal to park your elephant and have it be walking down Orange Avenue.
How is that fair? How is it fair? What would a guy say you had an elephant?
Yep.
You can't even ride it? You can't park it?
You cannot ride it down Orange Avenue for one. Wow. And if you do, you're not allowed to.
That's why when I was in Orlando, I didn't see a single person parking or walking an elephant down the road.
Why do you think that
not
Dumbo
a single one
was at Disney?
The whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Nope.
Man,
they're all at Disney. You can't keep them over at downtown. They're like, you know what? South of Orlando, Disney, good to go. Park them all day. You know what? Make a ride out of that bad boy, okay? Cool. Put the kids on it. They'll go around in circles. All set. Do not park it here in front of the bar.
I think we've had enough. Thank you guys for listening. I'm sorry we had to put you through that. Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
That's the Broker Show.
All right. We don't know what we're going to talk about next episode, but I promise it'll be better than this. I hope you've enjoyed today. Like, share, comment. Let us know what you want to talk about. You don't like it? Tell us what you want to talk about. All right.
Hit him up, not me. It's the Broker Joe on Facebook. And if it decides to go through here, it's like, glitchy.
Yep.
It's probably tired of our bad jokes.
Probably.
But, they've also got the Broker Joe on Instagram and on Twitter. Come on, Twitter, pop up. Let's work on you too. Now it all of a sudden wants to be like, okay, I'm tired.
Yep.
The Broker Joe at Twitter. So that's what you got going on. Give us a like. Again, chime in on any of these by messaging us. You can go to the Broker Joe or the Broker Show on Facebook and Broker Joe and do that.
Absolutely.
And also just comment underneath this Facebook post or Twitter or whatever it is that you're viewing this on. And we'd love to hear your feedback. Love to hear a topic that you may want to have us cover. And that'll work for us.
And that's a wrap.
That does it for us.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
Think outside the box.
Faux show. And don't park your elephant in downtown Orlando.